What is up, everybody? We are taking a day away from the parks for a little bit to come over here to the brand new Portillos that opened up here on 192 in Kissimmee. This is a brand new location that opened up within the past month or two now, and we are originally from Chicago, so we just moved down last year. We were basically born and raised in Chicago, and we have known Portillos forever. We've been to the original Portillos back in Chicago. This is kind of exciting that we have one so close to us at this point now down in Orlando. However, I don't know how the quality is going to hold up, so we're going to go ahead, try out some Chicago-style food here in Kissimmee, Florida, and let you guys know what we think. Anybody that has been to Portillo's knows, thank you very much, Nicole, that they have fantastic chocolate cake. I do think that they've ultimately switched the recipe up, I'm not gonna lie about that, but it is no surprise that they have fantastic chocolate cake. I don't know if we're getting that today. We'll see what we're coming up with. Now, if you guys have never been to Portillo's, one of the iconic things I think you gotta get, there's a few things, would be probably the Italian beef sandwich or a Chicago dog. Those are typically pretty common. And then the salads actually are something that a lot of people do love when they come to Portillo's. And then the most iconic would be the chocolate cake. That is something that I think a lot of people talk about, and the mayonnaise that's involved with it. There's a whole thing that goes around the whole Portillo's cake, I will say. I think I'm going to do a hot dog, a Chicago dog, just because I think that's the most iconic thing that says Chicago. Another pretty iconic thing here at Portillo's is that you get to kind of see as all of the sandwiches and all of the food kind of goes down the assembly line and gets put together here. And this is something that, again, you're going to see at all of the Portillo's locations. It's always kind of something interesting. And yeah, it's always just fun. They typically do a little rhyme whenever they come out and give you your food. It'd be like, number 9, time to dine, something like that. So we'll see if we get that called when our order does come up. So our number is 226. 226. And what do you think our rhyme's gonna be?
Or is it 6? Kicks, licks, bicks, chips.
I don't know.
226, get your fix.
Get your fix, all right.
Portillo's.
Let's see if we get a nice little jingle here. Because this is brand new, this is something we've never seen. They have like an in progress section and then a time to dine section. So those are the orders that have probably already been called and waiting to be picked up. And those are the ones that are being obviously made at this point. So that 226, that is going to be our order there. So we are waiting now, but this is a cool little way to see if your order was called and maybe you weren't paying enough attention.
Order number 226.
Right there is the original doghouse again, and we have driven by it, we've been there, and that is, again, over there in Villa Park, and that's been around since 1963. That's going to be the original Portillo's. So there is actually a little homage to it here, because I think they pride it. They pride the entire franchise on the start of that little doghouse that they built there. We have found a spot over by the window. Something that is also a little unique is a lot of the Portillo's in Chicago, I don't think have an outdoors. I don't know if any of them actually do, but from the ones that I tended to visit the most, they did not have an outdoor seating section, so it's kind of unique to see that. And then to also have palm trees right outside of the seating area is also a little weird because it is Chicago based. But let's go ahead, try some of the food, and we'll let you know what we think and how it compares, again, to Chicago. All right, we are going to start with the Chicago dog because I feel like this is a classic, right? This is something that I think is going to be the staple for whether or not this really holds up. I did get a chili cheese dog as well. We did get a cheese fry. Again, these are all, I think, iconic things from Portillo's that you have to try when you come here. I didn't do the relish or tomato on the Chicago dog, and that's just because I don't prefer either of those. Maybe some people torch me in the comment because I didn't have everything the same. I don't know, but this is how I prefer my Chicago dog. I'll let you know what I think. Here we go, first bite of the Chicago dog. You gotta make sure you get the pickle, the onion, the sport pepper. You need the whole thing in the first bite. And if you have relish and tomato, then you need that as well. Here we go. It's not bad. Kissimmee kind of holds up. We need another bite or two in here. Because you really gotta let it sink in. First initial impression, so that's not bad. Something I will say, their assembly is a little rough compared to Chicago. Chicago does a little better job getting that whole hot dog assembled that it's a little easier to hold. You kind of know where to position things a little better. I know it seems stupid and nitpicky, but in my opinion, that just goes a long way. Like just the way that you can hold the hot dog and make sure that things aren't falling out. Because like I have a stray sport pepper right now. My pickle's not really like stacked in there. I've got a little bit of onion falling out. So I will say, flavor-wise, it's pretty close. Is it spot on? No. Is it close though? Yeah, definitely doable. But their assembly is just a little off here.
All right, so I got the Italian beef, but I added cheddar cheese to it because they have a pretty good cheddar and croissant beef here, but I wanted the regular French bread. And then back home, they are all about like drenching the beefs, and I like just regular amount of juice. So I already took a bite, but I'll take another. You can see, nice and like wet bread. I think it's pretty good. You know, I think to have an Italian beef down here in like Kissimmee, it's pretty darn good.
All right, we're gonna try the pretty iconic French fry and cheese here. These actually look a little overdone in my opinion, but we're gonna get a nice hefty cheese dip there. Let's try this out. And here we go. That's not bad. Not perfect again. I mean, they're not perfect down here, but they're not bad. I think the fries are a little off. I think the cheese seems to be pretty good, and it could just be maybe old fries for this one. But I mean, that could happen at any of the locations. You could ultimately get like bad fries. You could get good fries, but the cheese tastes pretty on point. I'm not gonna lie. The fries just seem a little old, and I think I just said that right before I picked up the fries. I was like, they look like they're a little overdone, or maybe they were just sitting around a little too much, but not bad. We're gonna have to come back when they have a fresh batch of fries to give you a more accurate review on those. But the cheese seems pretty good right now. Nicole said she found the longest fry ever at Portillo's.
Look at that.
That is a fry if I've ever seen one.
It's like the length of my hand.
Should we submit it? Can we submit it to Portillo's? See if they'll take it for...
Do cover photos?
Maybe they'll put it at the original location. Oh no! Well, now it's definitely not as long. We lost some. How do you like the cheese fries? What do you think?
So I agree with you. There's definitely some like hard pieces.
Yeah.
But Portillo's fries are probably like my top fry. So let's see.
I feel like before she goes in, I just want to point out, like, look at the coloring on them. They just don't look fresh, and that's, I think, where I'm staying on that. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Cheers.
Oh, you didn't even go for the long fry.
I broke it in half. I love Portillo fries.
Yeah.
I love Portillo's cheese, so I think these are good. They could be fresher and hotter, but they're good.
And I think that's my thought, is I think it's more, it's just a freshness thing. They taste pretty good. The cheese is pretty good. And yeah, I give that a pretty close rating to Chicago. Again, I don't think anything's quite hit the exact mark, but it's close enough for being, you know, I don't know, 1,700 miles or whatever it is away. And so pretty good for them. All right, and our last savory item here will be the chili cheese dog. This was always my go-to before Chicago dogs. Then once I started having Chicago dogs, I started going for them more. And no matter where you go, they will always be a little messy like this. I think they're meant to be. Wasn't the smartest choice for me to wear white today. That's okay. But here it is. We're gonna dig into this. It looks pretty normal. The onions don't look as cooked as I think I'd want them to be. They look almost a little like caramelized, but we'll try it out and we'll let you know what we think. This is hot dog number 2. Here we go, chili cheese dog, white shirt. Total noob doing this. This is not how a true Chicagoan would do. They would know that you're gonna get involved with a chili cheese dog and you would not wear a white shirt. Even with like the cheese sauce or the mustard, anything like that, you gotta be prepared. So here we go, we're trying the chili cheese dog from a Portillos in Orlando. This is my least favorite item so far. And much like I thought about the onions, they almost seem like they have like a seasoning on them. It seems like they put like a seasoned salt on them. Very strong flavor. Don't love it. It's like a weirdly sweet chili too right now. So I think the fries were fine. The beef was clearly fine. The Chicago dog felt fine. This, not the same. I don't know what they're doing different down here, but it is not the same. Yeah, I don't love those onions. There's something too sweet about that. That's a bummer. And I used to really love chili cheese dogs. I still kind of like them. Like I said, I prefer Chicago dogs now. That just isn't it. Bummer. All right. Well, we know for next time. Probably gonna skip on the chili cheese dog for next time. I believe we came out clean on the shirt. White shirt is unscathed. I'm excited about that because a lot of times I do tend to sometimes dribble a little bit on myself. Not too bad, but sometimes, especially with cheese and, you got mustard, cheese, chili. There's a lot of things that could ultimately hit the shirt and cause some problems, but we did pretty good. So now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna get the iconic chocolate cake that everybody knows about. The big thing that people talk about with the chocolate cake for Portillos is that it includes mayonnaise, and they said it includes lots of mayonnaise apparently. So we're gonna try it out from here. I will let you know, it hasn't been the same in the past probably 5 to 8 years that it was years and years and years ago, but I will let you in on a little secret. Portillos releases a springtime cake. It's like spring and summer, and it is a lemon cake. It will be the best lemon cake I feel like you've ever had. It is probably my favorite lemon cake. One of my top cakes ever is that lemon cake from Portillos. It is not out right now. I highly recommend it. I think it comes out right around the time that Easter is here. So it should be here actually in the coming weeks, but it is not here yet, but I highly recommend trying the lemon cake if it is there. I think it's better than the chocolate cake. And again, people are gonna get upset about it, but I think the chocolate cake has changed recipes or something. It is still very good, but it's not quite as good. But that lemon cake, that's a game changer. So let's go pick up the chocolate cake. We'll come back, we'll try it out. We'll let you know what we think. I think that's gonna be the last item for us here at this Portillos location that's here on 192. The inside of this place is cool. I wanna show you that as well as soon as we're done with the food review, just because Portillos is iconic for the theming inside as well. It's got this very cool, I think it's like a 60s theme or something. Very, very cool. So let's go do that. We'll be right back. Here's a fun little unique thing. The forks come double packaged because I assume maybe they know you're gonna split the cake with somebody. And here is our chocolate cake. Let's take a look at that. Let's get this thing opened up and try it out. We'll see how this compares as well. So far, we're pretty close. Again, that chili cheese dog was a new, but let's hope this is better. It looks more red than brown, though. I will say that, which I feel like it typically is more brown. But let's open it up and try it out. All right, I've cleared my palate with some water. We are going in for the first bite of this chocolate cake from Portillos. It has been a while. I'm really hoping that it holds up. Here we go. Crunch it away. You gotta go down the line, get a little bit of everything. Ooh. I'm fumbling. Little globs. We're going in. That is a chocolate cake. I think something different that they've done, and it's why I've noticed it. I don't know if they put cinnamon or something in their frosting, but something has come out different in their cakes. And it doesn't feel as fudgy anymore. I think they did something weird with the frosting. Or they used like a different type of sugar. I don't know, but it doesn't taste the same, but it tastes like Portillo's cake. But it doesn't taste like it used to back in the day. So there's that. It's not perfect again to what it was, but it's close. And again, I feel like close is as good as you can get for someone that's coming here and has never experienced it. It's close. All right, it is Nicole's turn to try the chocolate cake. Let me know what you think.
All right, my favorite slice is actually right here, this fudge in the middle with a little bit of cake on each side. I'm all about the frosting.
That's like what those people do with like cupcakes.
Feel
They like
that.
tear 'em
Oh, where
off.
they like turn it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, somebody, they're making the call over there.
It's delicious, but I like it cold. And they advise like against it cold, but I prefer it cold. But good. Very
I would
good.
say there's a little bit of a chill to it, I would say. It doesn't feel like room temperature to me. I'm not saying it's like cold, but it feels a little chilled. So,
I can see what you're saying.
do they have it in a cooler?
No, they're not
No?
supposed to keep it. I think because the frosting gets hard.
Now, we are getting a salad to go for Nicole. She's taking a salad for lunch. And like I mentioned, salads are something here that I think a lot of people do enjoy. So I would also recommend that as one of their options. You can see hot dogs, beef, burgers, and salads. I haven't heard much about the burgers, to be honest. I don't ever get them here. I feel like it's just too iconic to go for hot dogs or beef, or for some people, salads. But just so you guys know, we do have a salad as well. We won't be doing a review on that today, but we are getting it to go. Also, holy cow, after I ranted and raved about it, do you see what's down there? Right there and right there? That is the lemon cake. It is back. Lemon cake is back here at Portillo's. You guys can get it right now. Like I said, it comes right around the time of Easter, and I guess we are close enough to go ahead and get it. So if you guys are interested, now is the time to pick up the lemon cake, and I promise you, it is so, so, so good. I'm not steering you in the wrong direction. Get a lemon cake. It's so good. Get the whole thing. Not even a piece. Get the whole thing. Here's a little bit of the ambiance and vibe here inside of Portillo's, just so you guys can see that you got the old school car, you got some signage. I feel like all those signs are things you're gonna find in Chicago all the time. One-way streets in the city, you see that all the time. You do have a Route 66 icon right up there, right there. It does say Route 66. That is something that goes right through actually goes through a town called Joliet, and yeah, you could just kind of see pretty cool here, and it is very clean. It's actually a lot cleaner than the ones you find over in Chicago, just all over the place actually, even out in the suburbs. So it's nice. Something that I do find kind of interesting are some of the unique takes on some of the Florida things, which I'll show you in just a second. But again, I just want to show you around here so you guys can get a vibe of what it looks like when you come into a Portillo's, just so you can see. And like I mentioned, you do have the Gator Garage here, which is something that's unique to kind of the Florida location, giving you kind of more of that, Florida Southern vibe. And, you would be more used to seeing something like that icon. However, that is also an airboat. So these are things that you're getting that pertain to the Florida locations. This is an airboat that you are finding here. That is not going to be in a Chicago location, but that little icon right there, the Portillo's hot dogs, that is something you would see. So everything else around kind of, gives a little shout out to the Chicago locations there, but they do have a little twist down here in Orlando. So that is kind of fun. Like I said, we wouldn't find this back home. So you do get that, and then right on the edge, let me show you this, and you see the snout peeking out front. That is a gator snout that they have hanging out of the front of the boat there. So a lot of fun that they put their own twist on things down here. It is a smart idea. Even on these little panels right here, the little tires, you could see the little gator head right there. You can see the flamingo, you get some lemons, you get the oranges right here. And so again, I've already mentioned it, but they put a fun twist for it being a Florida location. They very strategically made you have a little bit of vibe down here. So just so you guys can see it, here it is. Well, it is dark, but we are officially done here at Portillo's, and yeah, this place is pretty sweet. I think ultimately it is something I think if you are a Chicago Portillo's person, I would definitely come and check out. If you have never had Portillo's, then definitely come stop by. It gives you a little bit of that Chicago feel at a franchise level, something you do have to remember, because at the end of the day, it is still a franchise, so it is kind of only as good as a franchise can be. It's not going to be like this super authentic style, but it's definitely worth the visit. Their food is good, not amazing. I mean, I'm not saying this is like top of the line by any means, but it is very good food for what you get, and it's pretty accurate in here. Minus that chili cheese dog, everything else was pretty much on par. So highly recommend Portillo's, brand new location here on 192 in Kissimmee, Florida, about 5 or 10 minutes down the road from Disney World. Come check it out on your next trip down to the area. Either way, we are getting out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today as we didn't do anything at the parks. This was something a little new for us. Just checking out, again, a restaurant. Not something that we tend to do. We tend to be in the parks, but thank you for tagging along and, again, checking it out. And if you did enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content like this or content in the theme parks. But for now, we'll see you then. Take care.